Hello and welcome to the Curiosity Quest podcast. My name is Natasha Schulmeister and I am your host. Welcome. Welcome to today's journey. Well, I said that really interesting. I've been talking a lot today. I had quite a few hours of client sessions back to back, so my brain and my mouth feel like mush. And we're just going to be in this together today, okay? You're going to accept me as I am. I'm going to accept me where I'm at. And we're going to have fun. Because this is a cool episode. It's a very uplifting episode. I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I say I'm excited for every episode. I feel like I say it at the top end of every episode. It's because I genuinely love doing this. And if I could do it more, I would do it more. I would seriously set aside time to do this full time. However, people are not paying me to talk in this way. And so we are just going to be here together and have fun with the time that we have, okay? And one day I will be paid to speak. One day. I guess I am technically paid to speak as a coach, but not like this. Okay, so now, today's episode, what makes life special? What makes life special? And we're going to take it from a few different angles here. So talking about what are miracles? Like, and not in the sense of something separate from us, not in the sense of something religious, but we could actually talk about that as well. I want to let us go wherever we're meant to be going. But in the sense of nothing could quite explain it, and yet it still happened, and it's a beautiful thing. Magic as in, yeah, you could explain it to me 1,000 times, and logically it makes sense, but I somehow just cannot wrap my head around how an aurora borealis exists in this lifetime. Meaning as in not some external purpose, but being alive at all, just at all. And so I feel like I need this because I'm just in that, I'm in that, I don't know, that open space of looking for joy right now. And this episode matches. And I hope that this can also maybe bring a story into your life that makes you feel alive or give you some type of information that makes you feel good. Or I don't know, maybe you just like hanging out with me. And that's cool too. I like hanging out with you as well. As always, as I mentioned, I don't edit these podcasts. I'm talking to you as if you are my friend on my couch with me because that's what I want. I want regular conversation. I will be bringing more guests on. Yes, I did get asked that. I will. However, I've been in a good flow mode on my own, and navigating everybody else's schedules plus mine right now is a little intense. And so we can have a chat, and in due time, somebody else will come in. But yeah, I don't edit these because I don't edit conversations with my friends on my couch. So it ain't gonna happen. And I'm learning too. That's why this is called the Curiosity Quest. I'm looking to expand myself, and potentially you can also receive expansion and start conversations between me and the people listening. I have some friends that message me afterwards with notes and just answering some of the questions that I ask or reflecting more on something that I talked about. And it makes me really happy because I believe our genuine connection is in those moments, and in moments where we can feel safe talking about a topic that maybe we don't always feel safe talking about. So this is the space for it. And if you have anything that you'd like to share or chat about, or you disagree with me, you're allowed to disagree with me. Please just message me. As long as you're not harmful towards me, as long as you're not trying to bully me into a different belief system, I'm happy to hear what your perspective is. I'm happy to hear what you believe and what your thoughts are. I'm happy to open my heart to that and my mind to that. I am so happy to. I might not shift my belief, but I can definitely hear and respect yours. So yeah, also wanted to note that you don't have to agree with me, and you don't always have to be participating in the way of like, oh, this question, I have this answer. It can also be in a way of like, you know what, I actually think something different and I'd like to share it with you. And that makes me so excited about life. So please, I open the door for it, as long as you're not harmful. That's my boundary. Don't be mean to me, and don't try and force me into anything. Just allow me to be there with you, because I will be there with you. If there's some outside noises, I do apologize. no matter where I go in my space right now, there's so many people doing outside work right now. So we're just going to hope the leaf blower guy, and I know my one girlfriend will know what that means if she listens, that the leaf blower guy doesn't come by right now. That's what we're hoping for. Let's have this chat. Sometimes we get so busy surviving that we forget how miraculous it is to be alive. And I want to invite us back into wonder and ask, I don't know, some big questions. I hope I was sent some big questions. Again, if you haven't listened to the podcast, I don't prep this myself. I don't bring this information myself. Whoa, if you're watching the video, I just got really bright. I don't bring this information for myself because I want to be learning with you. So I'm reading the information right now, real time with you. So I'm hoping there's some big questions. I did request some scientific anomalies stories, and we'll just see what came through. The one question that I just read on here though to start it is, when was the last time you felt awe? Like awestruck, like whoa, like oh. When was the last time you felt awe? Oh man, you know what? This happens to me more frequently now than it ever has in my life. However, there's these tiny moments where I'll be walking outside with Luna and something just like catches me. Especially, I've noticed it with trees. When I'm walking underneath trees and they're like thick with leaves and the sun is out and you're walking under this like row of trees that are blocking the sun, and the sun just like ripples through it at you, and it just feels like pockets of sunshine. It's like pockets. That song just came in my head as soon as I said that. I got a pocket full of sunshine. Okay, anyway, pockets of sunshine. But every time it happens, it just feels magical. Like I'm just getting these tiny little boom, beams of light hitting me, and you look up and it's so bright in this vast greenness. I don't know. That to me, that makes me feel awe and excited about life. Some of the sunrises we've been having of late as well, just the pink and orange. I feel like it's the deep colors that really get me. Even deep grays get me, like the way that the clouds look in the sky. Okay, I'm just going off right now. I'm finding so many. Okay, so apparently I have been feeling awe a lot lately. I would love to hear if there is anything of recent for you that made you feel in awe, or like a moment that just, I don't know, made you stop and take it in. Just like a core memory moment. So if you have one, share it with me. So what actually makes life special? Let's go from a logical standpoint. I like that, logical standpoint. I say that I like that. I am a logical person. Do not get me wrong. I want to say I'm an extremely, but maybe I shouldn't say extremely. I'm a very curious person. And so though I do approach life with logic, I also take my blinders off and just like, whoosh, and sometimes I just go a little too wide lens, and I have to be reminded to come back down every once in a while, which is why I'm dating who I'm dating. He's a very good person to do that. However, I do believe I'm pretty logical. However, we're going to go into this. I'm going to stop. From a logical standpoint, what makes life special? Oh, wow. Okay. You have a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born as you. I didn't actually know it was 400 trillion. That's a big, I was thinking like 1 in 4 billion. 400 trillion is a significantly larger number than 4 billion. So 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born as you. Yeah, I had somebody say this to me once. They're like, you have no idea how many of your ancestors had to survive so that you could be here today. And I was like, whoa, I never thought of that. They had to survive famines, war, all of these things for the lineage to carry through to even you coming here. But then it's even more specific that I am me. I was the one that was born. That's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's one of those moments where you're like, I logically understand that, but my brain cannot fathom that number or that. Yeah, It's just wild. That's wild. Okay, evolutionary biology. So from a logical standpoint, why do emotions like love, beauty, and awe exist at all? They have no direct survival function past procreation and bonding. True. I wonder if we've always had them too. Like I know that previously it was thought that, there was cavemen, Neanderthals weren't intelligent, and that there weren't bonds, but now they're starting to discover through more archaeological digs that they had proper burials for people, and there was individuals who had several broken bones but had died around what they think to be like 70 odd years old, and they hadn't had those breaks. They'd had those breaks for a long time, like they had set and been used afterwards, which means that people cared for them. They just didn't just let them die. They actually would have worked hard to keep them alive. And so if there wasn't any type of emotional intelligence or connection or bond with those individuals, why would they do that? It's easier for them to just let somebody die and move on, right? So there's a lot of this coming into question for me now too. It's like have emotions like love, beauty, and awe always existed, just maybe they looked a little bit different in that time and in that era. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But it is a good question. Like, why would emotions like love, beauty, and awe exist from an evolutionary standpoint? They don't have a survival function, which is completely reasonable. If we didn't have this love response, we could still mate and procreate and eat and sleep and do all of the things. So, why? It's an interesting question. They included Carl Sagan's quote, "We are made of star stuff." And we are. We are. How cool is that? Even the soil that we have on this planet, right? Like the nutrients, the minerals, everything that's in the soil is from other places. There's so much water that's come from asteroids that have hit our planet and then have melted. There's so much rock on our planet from the same thing. And it's like, what is actually originally Earth and what is the additional from everywhere else in the universe, and where in the universe is all of it from? I'm just like, my mind has a million questions on that one. We are made of star stuff though. And I love that. Okay. Now we're going to go into a philosophical standpoint. This feels more my wheelhouse. It doesn't. I don't know why I said that. Existentialism. Life has no inherent meaning except the meaning we assign to it. Okay, actually. So that being that we create the meaning that we see. See, and this is, okay, so I can bring that into regular life a little bit. I have certain beliefs that other people don't believe, and that's okay. All good. There's nothing in me that's worried that one day I'll find out that those beliefs aren't real. And the reason for that is, even if we knew for sure if they were real or not, which we don't know if they are real or not, is what I'm saying. We don't know that. We don't have evidence surrounding that. We have theory. That's it. And that's not evidence. So even if I were to find out that it wasn't real at some point, maybe there's evidence that pointed towards it, would it matter? If my beliefs make me happy and they're not harmful to other people, but instead they allow me to be a person that I enjoy being, that is helpful and kind and warm to others, does it matter? That would be my bring-in of existentialism, that thought into real life. Life has no inherent meaning except the meaning we assign to it. When I walk out the door and the breeze hits me and I feel, oh my gosh, maybe that means one of my loved ones that have passed away is around me right now. Maybe they're around me right now. I'm creating that meaning. I assigned meaning to that moment. I assigned it, and it makes me happy. So does it matter? I like that. So maybe that's how I live. Life has no inherent meaning except the meaning we assign to it, and I assign a lot of things to my life. I like that. Okay, absurdism. I don't know if I've actually ever read about it. Absurdism. Life is meaningless and still beautiful. I like that. I like that too. I have a feeling I'm going to like all of these. Oh no. Life is meaningless and still beautiful. I know a couple of people who live in this wheelhouse, and I'm totally open to that too. If I were to find out on my deathbed, if I were to find out that nothing happens after death, nothing at all, and there is absolutely no meaning to this life except for being alive and living it, and nothing happened after death, I'd be totally okay with that. I'd be totally okay with that. Because there's so much beauty that I felt during my lifetime that it doesn't really matter if it had external meaning to it. You know what I mean? And I have lived a beautiful life, and the world outside is beautiful. There's so many beautiful things and so many beautiful people. Life is meaningless and still beautiful. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? I would love to actually, you know what? Let me know what you believe in. I'm also going to go into spiritual standpoint, so you can let me know if you believe in one of those as well. But I would love to hear anybody's belief system. And based on what I've shared so far, I think you're kind of gathering that I am pretty open-minded to any of these things. So please share with me your brain. Okay, here's a question that we have been gifted. If we knew the universe was indifferent to us, would that make our joys matter more or less? If we knew the universe was indifferent to us, would that make our joys matter more or less? I don't think it would have an effect on my joy. I don't know if it would have an effect on my joy, actually, to be honest with you. It might make me sad for a minute, because I like to believe that there's something. I call myself optimistically agnostic. I'm pretty aware that there could be nothing, there could be something. There could be a million somethings, there could be a million nothings. Nothing can mean different to all people. But the joy I felt, I didn't fake it. I felt it. I didn't fake it. I wasn't making it up. It wasn't just there because somebody else gave it to me. It wasn't like a story somebody else gifted me. It was something that I felt, and that can't be taken. So I guess for me, would that make joy matter more or less? I feel pretty indifferent to that. It would matter the same amount. As long as it was genuine, it would matter the same amount as it had always felt. And then maybe my joy might change moving into the future. Like what brings me joy might change going into the future, if that were true. Maybe. Yeah. But I don't believe I've faked any of my joy up to this point, and I don't believe it was anybody else's doing. It was my own. I felt it. I experienced it. It was real for me. The end. So having the universe indifferent to me doesn't really change my joy. I don't know. I would love to, I'd love to hear your perspective. Okay, from a spiritual standpoint, there's the concept of life as soul school. Right. Okay, so life being, this gives a very brief outline of it. I will share what I know of that and then read this as well. So life being soul school, as in our soul gets sent here to live however many cycles of life as however many various beings on this planet, so that our soul can continue to learn and grow, adapt, and become elevated, like be ready to be released into whatever next stage of spiritual soul purpose is out there from beyond Earth, I suppose. So the concept of life as soul school is just, your soul has been here. Maybe this is the first time, maybe this is the 10th time, but it's coming here to learn a lesson, to learn or overcome a challenge, to reset lineage, whatever that might be. That's my understanding. If you understand it differently, please correct me. So the concept of life as a soul school, and that for some people makes life totally meaningful. I know people who believe in this, and they believe that every challenge they're being thrown, everything that they're experiencing, the joys, everything, it's all part of a grander master plan. And I actually know somebody who remembers writing up a soul contract before coming to this planet and deciding about certain things that happened in their lives, and then they happened, which is even crazier. Like, that's so cool. So yeah, there's the concept of as life is a soul school. For some people, that brings so much meaning to life, because it's like, oh, this challenge, I need to be able to overcome this. I put this here on purpose. I did this on purpose. And it gives a different approach and meaning to the challenges that you face. So maybe this is something new to you, and you should look it up if it's intriguing to you. And maybe it allows you to shift your perspective on challenges throughout this lifetime. I don't know. Maybe. There's also the note of synchronicity as spiritual language. So synchronicities that come up is this, the universe or spirit or angels or guides or God, whatever you believe in, speaking with you, communicating with you, letting you know that you're on the right path, or potentially redirecting you in a way that you should be going that would be better for you, or towards something challenging for you, so that you can then upgrade and move on, different things like that. So synchronicities can be like number exchanges. Oh my gosh. It can be numbers like 333, 222, 111. It can also be, I just went really bright again. I'm so sorry if you're watching this video. It can also be animals. It can also be, there's so many different things that synchronicities can look like for each individual person. It can be color. It could be a person. It could be a song. It could be a word. It could be, it's whatever is connected to you. So yeah, synchronicities as a spiritual language, guiding you, letting you know, hey, by the way, we're here, or hey, by the way, you're on the right track. You're going to be just fine. You're on the right path. The ordinary miracle, breath, touch, sunlight, grief. It's an ordinary miracle. Those are things that are guaranteed happening unless you are dead, in which case you are not breathing anymore. Magic as anything that moves you beyond logic. I like that. So life has meaning because it has magic, and that magic is anything that moves you beyond logic. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that, like anything in life, I know there has been, but I can't think of one right now. Anything in life I cannot explain with logic, but I know it mattered. And I'm trying to I know I've talked about it before too, which is so silly. I can't find it in my brain. Is there anything in life you cannot explain with logic, but you know it mattered? Oh my gosh, I got one. I have one. So when my Pepe died, my grandpa, I was living in Vancouver, and so I had to fly back for his funeral, fly to Alberta for his funeral. And he died, and I ended up booking a flight to fly into Edmonton right away. So it was a night flight. It was like a red eye. It was so late. I was so tired. Luckily enough, nobody was on this flight, and it still happened, which is great. So I had this whole row to myself, and I was listening to music on the plane, and I had my feet up across the row because nobody was there. So I was like, I'm going to take up the whole row. And the flight attendant came up to me and tapped my foot because I had closed my eyes, and I thought I was going to get in trouble. I was in my brain, I'm like, oh, she's going to get mad at me for having my feet up. I'm not supposed to have my feet up. And then she's just pointing, and I'm like, what? And she's like, look out the window. I look out the window, and we're flying through an aurora borealis. And I just remember, I'm going to cry. I just remember, oh my gosh, I'm actually going to cry. Okay. I just remember in that moment, I was so sad that he died and that I wasn't able to be there to say goodbye to him. And I was so sad. I had to say goodbye over the phone. Him dying like pretty much an hour after I talked to him. He was not there. He was in a coma, so there's that. But I just remember in that moment being like, thanks, Grandpa. Like, that's really nice because this really sucks. Oh, it was so special and it was so cool. And I've never seen an aurora borealis before. So it was like this really magical moment during this really hard period of time. And then I had this song. This is a second one tied to the same thing. I had this song that's very specific to my grandpa that reminds me of him. It's Johnny Cash, You Are My Sunshine. And I've never shared that with my family. I've not listened to this song with him that I remember. Like, I don't recall it in my memories that I had listened to the song with him ever. But I knew he was a Johnny Cash fan. And I had this version by Johnny Cash because it reminded me of him on my phone. And I love that song. I get to Hinton, we have the funeral. And as they're putting him into the ground, they play a song. And it's that song. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, what? Nobody planned this. I didn't share this with anybody in my family. I didn't talk to anybody about it. It wasn't like his song. Like, it was so extraordinary. And I just, in that moment, I was like, whoa. I was holding it together. Like, everybody was crying a lot. So I just, for whatever reason, I was just trying to be really strong for everybody. I was trying to be that, like, I will be here for everybody. I will hold everybody right now, and I'm okay. I wasn't okay. And then that song started playing, and I just cracked. I crumbled. And then, yeah, like a month later, I had my phone. I wasn't using data. I was playing Spotify without data, just downloads. And this is before you could download a whole lot of music onto your phone, either, whatever. But I was playing music and I was driving and I thought of him, and then all of a sudden this song came on that is not on my phone, and I just got chills in my entire body. It wasn't that song, it was a different song that was a song that he loved. And I was like, I looked at my phone, I'm like, how is this playing? Like, I'm so confused. And I just was like, he's here. Like, he's here with me. And I pulled over and I looked. I didn't have it downloaded. I have no idea how it played to this day. I have no idea how it got on my phone. So I couldn't explain it. But it did matter to me because I was really missing him. And so, yeah. It was beautiful. And even if one day I found out that, if somebody told me that they know with great evidence, they have great evidence to prove that couldn't possibly ever happen, I don't think I would believe him, because it just felt so real. Yeah. Anyway, share yours if you have one. That's one thing in life you cannot explain with logic, but you know it mattered. I hope that share was okay. I cried. Ruh-roh. Oh, okay. Miracles and magic, do they exist? Miracle being not a suspension of natural law, but a moment that feels like divine timing. So, yeah. Are miracles real, or are they just improbabilities we assign meaning to? That's the question for us. Are miracles real, or are they just improbabilities we assign meaning to? It's interesting because with an improbability in my brain, an improbability would also be a rarity, would it not? Now I gotta look this up. Is an improbability rare? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was not misremembering this. Improbabilities are rare in isolation. So, okay. But they become commonplace when considering a large number of opportunities for them to occur. Got it. When I think of improbability, to me anyways, this is how I feel. There's certain things that too many people have experienced for me to consider them an improbability anymore. Meaning, I mean, I feel like people having like spiritual moments with feeling as though like they had a direct conversation with God or an angel or a spirit, whatever that is. That to me, I could classify as more of an improbability because those are rare. They are rare. However, the amount of people who have had experiences after somebody has experienced a loss, like they've lost somebody close to them, near and dear to them, a pet, whatever, the sheer volume of individuals who share those stories, or the sheer volume of people who have had near-death experiences and share the exact same experience or similar experiences, not identical, but similar experiences with similar messaging. And those don't feel like improbabilities anymore. Those feel like things that maybe we can't explain, but they're actually quite probable. I know people who have had near-death experiences. I know people who, I don't know if I know anybody outside of one person who has never had a moment with a loved one or a lost loved one after they died. Whether it be finding coins or hearing things or feeling them or whatever, it's just, yeah. So, okay. In those cases, I believe that they're still miracles. But I don't know. Does it matter if it's real or not if it changes how you feel? That is a very good question. Does it matter if it's real or not? If it changes how you feel, does it matter? If it changes how I feel for the better, I don't think it matters. If it changes how I feel for the worse, I think it kind of matters. I don't know. That one's a tough one. Doesn't matter if it's real or not, if it changes how you feel. If it changes how you feel, as in it allows you more peace in your life, I don't think it matters. That's where my stance is. If it brings you more peace, then I don't believe it matters. If it brings you more peace and doesn't harm other people, like intentionally harm other people, then I don't think it matters. This is cute. From a spiritual view, miracles are the universe's wink at you. I like that. It's just a little, hey, it's a flirty little wink. That's cute. Magic is what exists in spaces logic cannot fill. I do like that. Magic is what exists in spaces logic cannot fill. Nice. Okay. The indigenous wisdom of animism. Everything has a spirit, and life is a conversation between you and the living world. I love that. Life is a conversation between you and the living world. That's awesome. Gosh, okay. There's actual stories on here. I should read the stories. Should we read the stories? We should read the stories. Let's do it. So, let's see. Let's go with scientific improbabilities. Do you guys want to hear those? Or scientific kind of scientifically baffling anomalies. That's what I wrote out. I wanted scientifically baffling anomalies. Okay, these are supposed to defy an easy explanation and blur the line between science and mystery. So we have four stories. Okay, the first one is called The Placebo Surgery Phenomenon. I feel like I know where this is going just based on the title. Okay. In a famous 2002 clinical trial for knee pain, some patients underwent actual arthroscopic surgery, while others simply had small incisions made and no procedure performed. Astonishingly, both groups reported equal improvement in pain and mobility months later. It raised huge unanswerable questions. How can belief alone cause physical, measurable healing? And is the mind capable of rewriting the body's symptoms through expectation? Why is this so baffling? If consciousness can trigger biological repair mechanisms independent of intervention, where does the mind end and the body begin? Some moments like this, I wish I could whistle. I can't whistle right now. You know what I mean, though, when I'm trying to like whistle, like, woo! Wow, that's crazy to me. But there are so many stories. There are so many stories. Okay, we're just going to keep reading these stories. I'm not going to bring up the ones I'm thinking of because we have stories laid out here, okay? But the point I was going to make is just I've heard so many real life stories where people had something wrong with them, were about to go into surgery after months and months of waiting, had one more x-ray done, and then that thing was just gone. Like, that happened in my family, by the way. That happened in my family. This was something that was going to happen. And my cousin just did not believe it. She was like, nope. Prayed. And then what was there once on x-ray and supposed to be surgically removed was no longer there anymore. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, where does the mind end and the body begin? Whew. That was closer to a whistle. Okay, this second one is called the wow signal. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited. Wow. In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a deep space radio signal so strong and peculiar, it lasted 72 seconds and was never detected again. Astronomer Jerry Amen circled it in red ink and wrote "wow" in the margin. No known natural phenomena, satellite, or Earth-originating signal could explain it. It came from the direction of Sagittarius, near no known stars capable of producing it. For over 40 years, scientists have searched for its source. Nothing. It remains one of the strongest candidates for potential extraterrestrial communication and a perfect example of the universe's maddening refusal to explain itself. I really like the last sentence. The universe's maddening refusal to explain itself. I respect it. I don't think it needs to explain itself to us. We want to know all the answers, and I honestly do not think we need to. I don't think we need to know all the answers. I think we get caught in a really toxic cycle of needing to have answers sometimes. And every once in a while, I think we got to just let it go. That's so cool, though. I love that he just put, wow. I don't know what else to say. Wow. Okay, number 3. The Taos hum. In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, a persistent low-frequency hum has been reported since the early 1990s. Only about 2% of the population can hear it, a deep, droning sound with no verifiable source. Acoustic studies, geological surveys, and electrical testing have all come up empty. It isn't tinnitus or internal. Some residents even report that it fades or strengthens when they move to certain locations, hinting at environmental or energetic anomalies. It's a globally occurring phenomenon, the Bristol hum, Auckland hum, etc., with no agreed upon cause. Is it Earth's resonance, electromagnetic interference, or something more mystical? That's really interesting to me. Yeah, it's really interesting to me. Especially that we can't find it yet. I feel like technology has taken such a fast course to being available to us in so many different formats that I guess I would have just assumed that if something is happening from the 1990s sound-wise, it's 2025 now. That's 35 years. That's 35 years that we would have something by now. Very interested to find out what it is, if they find out what it is. I'm very interested. And I do feel like certain people have, well, no, I know that. I was going to say it. I feel like, no. I know certain people have different abilities in their hearing range as well. So it totally makes sense to me that some people would pick that up and some people wouldn't. Same as animals. Like, I'm sure that animals also recognize it or can hear it, because I believe they have a different range of hearing as well. I know dogs do. I feel like that's probably all animals. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that, please. Okay, the last one is called the quantum double slit experiment. Ooh, that sounds fun. One of the most famous and frankly bewildering physics experiments of all time. Bewildering is a good word. Okay. When particles like electrons are fired at a barrier with two slits, they create an interference pattern, behaving like waves, not particles. But if you observe which slit the particle goes through, it immediately stops acting like a wave and behaves like a particle again. The act of observation changes the reality. This suggests that at a quantum level, consciousness and matter are entwined in ways we don't yet understand. Is reality fixed or participatory? Does life behave differently when someone is watching? That feels kind of creepy in a way. I don't know about that one. That one made me, that felt like it should be on, what is that show called? Oh no. Oh my gosh. There's a show. Somebody's going to know what it is, and this is going to drive me crazy now. But they had episodes that went over stuff like this. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Okay, anyway, there's a TV show. It's old. Very old. The Twilight Zone. If you said it, well done. If you didn't and I just gave it to you, well done. The Twilight Zone. That felt very Twilight Zone-y. I don't like that at all. So wait, okay. What? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. You look at it from, I'm guessing they're looking from above. When particles like electrons are fired at a barrier with two slits, they create an interference pattern behaving like waves. And I'm guessing I guess if you're looking at both slits, it's just dependent on how you're looking at them. It doesn't say how you're looking at them. But if you observe which slit the particle goes through, this sounds like an above or in front of. Like if you watch it from above, it's one thing. If you watch it from straight on, it's a different thing. Does everybody agree with that? Does anybody know this study? And can I don't know, explain it to me. It freaks me out. I feel like we have to end on some ancient and indigenous anomalies as well, because these still baffle science. So if you want to educate me, if they have been found out, tell me. But these are the ones that I wanted to read. And we're going to end here because I love these and this is fun. I try to say these names properly. If I say anything incorrectly, just correct me, tell me, and then I will update it in my next episode. I think it's the Dogon tribe. I'm saying it phonetically. The Dogon tribe. We're going to go with that. And Sirius B. So the Dogon people of Mali, West Africa, have oral traditions dating back thousands of years describing a companion star to Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. That's what Sirius is. Which they call Po Tolo. According to their stories, it's a tiny, incredibly heavy star invisible to the eye, moving in a 50-year elliptical orbit around Sirius. The bizarre part is, Western astronomers didn't confirm the existence of Sirius B until 1862 with a telescope, and its density, invisibility, and orbit were not fully confirmed until the 20th century. How could an ancient, non-technological culture know the precise existence and behavior of a star system invisible to the naked eye? Dogon elders say it was knowledge given by Namo, sky beings. That's crazy. Okay, I have so many questions. That to me is like, what if during that time window, that time frame, or that lineage that discovered it as their tribe, what if their eyes worked differently than our eyes now? And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to discredit this story, and I'm not trying to discredit the fact that they were gifted knowledge from a different being. Sure. I'm not discrediting that. I'm just curious because it seems like a lot of astrological, would it be astrological or astronomical? No, astrological. Yeah, right? No. Astronomy. Stars. I'm so tired. There was a ton of information about the stars in the sky, the universes, the planets, etc., well before we had telescopes. And it makes me wonder if they were able to see in a way that we couldn't. Like maybe our eyes have evolved to be the way it is now and where we have to use a telescope. Maybe we didn't have to before. Maybe our eyes were picked up on different things, picked up on different lights, picked up on different colors for survival. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe not. Just my question. Okay. Let's go one more. Let's go the ancient coral castle in Florida. That's where we're going to end because that sounds fun. In the early 1900s, a Latvian immigrant named Edward Leedskalnin single-handedly built a structure called Coral Castle, made of limestone blocks weighing up to 30 tons each, using no modern machinery. To this day, no one fully understands how he moved or precisely positioned the stones. Some of them pivot on their own axis so perfectly, balanced Oh my gosh. I read that weird. Let me try that again. To this day, no one fully understands how he moved or precisely positioned the stones. Some of them pivot on their own axes so perfectly balanced a child can push them. Leedskalnin claimed he had discovered the secrets of the pyramids. Modern engineers still debate whether magnetic, sonic, or lost ancient techniques were at play. And Edward died with his secrets. So, we got nothing. We got nothing on him. You got nothing on me, baby. Nothing on me, baby. These are all so cool, though. And it's just, again, like it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. That's a full sentence as well. It does make me wonder. There's so many things that are unanswered. And then there's also so many things that we thought we had answers to that are changing because we've had more time, more investment, more understanding come through, more clarity come through. And so what we used to believe was true even 5 years ago for some things is shifting still as we're discovering more and more and more. We're finding cities that are underwater that are changing or altering what we've known as Homo sapien history, right? And so it leaves a lot of this world, this history of the world, everything unknown, which to me feels like magic. I know that can feel somewhat scary to people or unstable or uncertain. At the same time, you're alive. There's ground beneath your feet. You're here. And you get to discover these things. Historically, we get to be a part of the discovery of our history and this planet. And that's really cool. Could be terrifying for some, but I believe it's cool. And I see it more as like an adventure. It's like, oh, what will we find out next? What will we find out next? Well, how special is this? I hope this gave you some things to spark, I don't know, aliveness, magic. The fact that there's so much in this world that we just do not and maybe will not ever understand, that gets to be left as a giant question mark in science that we get to just be in awe of, because how could it possibly exist? And how could it possibly exist and we get to experience it as us? Like, what was it, 400 trillion? Is that what it was? 400 trillion chance? 1 in 400 trillion chance that you're you. 1 in 400 trillion chance. That's not good odds. And yet here we are. So I'm in, baby. Let's be star stuff together. I love it. Please send your stories. Please share if there's anything that logic just couldn't explain in your life. Please share if there's anything that you experience that just awe strikes you, that just makes you pause for a moment. You're like, whoa, like the perfect chord of a song or the taste of something or whatever it is for you. I'd love to hear it. Please share it. Please share it. It'd be great. That's it for now. I need to let my mouth and my brain relax. I've been on all day. So I hope you have a groovy rest of your day. I hope that you get caught by a tiny miracle moment, not miracle, unless you're religious and you want it to be, but not miracle in the sense of a religious miracle, but a miracle in the sense of something that just stops you and catches your attention. I hope that happens for you in the next week. Let's stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one. Sending you love.